Welcome to the Virtual Advanced Academy User Guide. So we're going to start off by navigating to advanced.upefiu.io. So when you get here, it takes you to our homepage where it tells you, are you ready to land your dream internship? And this is to create an account. If you already have an account, you would just go to the login and enter your information here. Since I don't have an account yet, I'm going to go back over here, maybe even like glimpse a little bit what's the site about, what am I going to learn from here. Looks like you're going to prepare for a career in technology through Upsilon Pi Epsilon's Virtual Advanced Academy program. You can check out an overview of the modules offered below. To me, this looks great. I can learn about types of internships, resume building, pitching yourself, networking, application process. Seems like a great overview of topics. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make an account. So for my username, I'm just going to call myself Carolina U. My full name is Carolina Uribe, and my email here, I'm gonna just put create password, create my account now, let that go through. Okay, I'm gonna tell myself I want to save it, and then go back here. And now I get to log in. And as a first-time user logging in, I'm going to be prompted with a survey to fill out, just because I have those overview of modules and potentially, I might be an expert in some of those. So might as well do this and it'll kind of gauge that for you. So what year am I in college? Let's say I'm a past fourth year. I'm majoring in computer science. And it gives a nice little overview of how many pages this is. I'm interested in software programming, program management, artificial intelligence, UI, UX, let's say other too. And I'm seeking a full-time position. I'm interested in a lot of cool companies. Let's just throw a couple there. Okay. And then now it's going to ask you questions about what experiences you have related to computing. So have you had any internships? Have you had any research experience? Any personal projects? Have you shadowed anyone? Job offers or internship offers? Have you mentored or been mentored? Have you been a part of computing groups? So this could be like UPE, ACM, Wix, or anything else. Have you been to any social events, conferences, whatever you've done, just click it, and that's it. And then, how do you learn technical materials best? So do you learn from like your peers, teaching assistant, faculty, online courses? There's a couple more different you can check from here. And then, do you currently have anything active? Do you have an active GitHub, a LinkedIn? Continuing, how many technical interviews have you done yet? This is for your entire history, so the last couple years. If you haven't done any, you would check 0. And you can estimate, that's totally okay too. Let's say I've done 10 plus technical interviews, and I've received like 7 to 9 offers. And then now you just go through here and just put like your honest answer of how you feel about these different scenarios. So with technical interviews, do you feel prepared to succeed? Let's say I do here, and I'm not going to read these all out. This is for you to just take your time and reflect on like how you feel about different topics. So I'm just going to put neutral for a couple of these. And then the next one's about behavioral interviews. So to what extent do you feel these different feelings? And then we're on the 5th page now. So with the application process, to what extent do you know these different topics or feel comfortable with them? And then same thing about the resumes. Okay, now I'm entering the page 6. And with networking, to what extent do you feel these two? And then with in-person interviews, to what extent do you feel about these? And then now our final last page. What groups do you identify with? And then your gender identity. And then just the final question is how many hours on average do you code per week? This can be classwork, personal projects, anything. So then afterwards, you're going to submit that. and it's going to take you to now your homepage. So as you can see here, this is where the level of expertise you have. So for example, for types of internships, I got a 70%. It says that, which basically means I'm almost done with this module. I have a pretty good understanding of it. Versus like for pitching yourself, you now see this check mark. When I hover away from it and it's grayed out, that means that the survey deemed that I'm an expert in pitching myself, and I can review that module, but I don't necessarily have to because I'm pretty good at it. And then you can just go through that, and they all have different ratings based off of your responses. Okay, so now while you're here, you can do a couple different things. You can navigate to here, you can go back to your profile to see your information. You can always click back to the advanced logo to get back to the website. And then there's also in the nav bar, we have this, which can take you back to the modules if you were somewhere else. So let's say I was in the profile and I want to go back to the modules, I can just click there. It also takes me to the UPE site. So if you go to the UPE site, that'll load up. So if you're curious, like know more about other advanced programs, more about UPE and what they're doing, you can come right over here and navigate. Okay, so now once you're here, you can see all these modules, and let's say, okay, I want to get started with the resume building. So I'm going to say get started, and this resume building, it'll tell you like resumes are crucial for recruiters to see what makes you stand out as a potential candidate. Learn how to design a resume to best highlight your skills and experience in an aesthetically pleasing way. As you go through it, it'll have like introduction to go a little more about it, how your resume format should be, general rules, and there are really helpful links throughout this. So you'll just continue going through them. It's giving me an example resume, traditional one-column resume. So you can see that it's pretty organized. It's clear to see your experience, what you've done, and it even has like a download here link if you're interested in this template. And as you can navigate to page 2, if you're interested in more of a modern 2-column resume, you can go here and check this one out. And similar, this is designed on Canva. Canva is a really great tool if you're interested in building a more creative resume. And you can do it right through the application. Okay, and then now this one goes over like items to include. So let's say we have like personal information. It's going to go through all the different details of what you should include there and whether it's preferred or suggested. Then it'll be going through the education section, experience, your personal projects, activities, skills, and courses and honors. And these are optional categories sometimes, so I have it in order of priority. So you definitely need your personal information, your education, if you have any experience that you want to include, and then if you have any personal projects, but this is all applicable to you. So if you don't have any activities or you don't have any courses that you feel like you want to include, you definitely don't have to. These are all just suggestions and different categories you can have on your resume. And you can always navigate to like a previous section. So say, oh, I want to go back here, you can do that easily. And then once you finish, you just navigate back to modules, and that'll take you back here. For this first iteration, there are definitely a lot of different modules, and we want to include some quality content. So in our original goals, we only want to create 5 different sections. That ended up being resume building, pitching yourself, networking, behavioral questions, technical questions, and then just a little bit added bonus, we did a Hungry for More, which would have more links. We chose those modules based off the highest priority when we were talking to the advanced director from UPE, what people were most interested in and what they were curious about. So I'm not going to go through each of them, but I'll give you guys a glimpse of them. So for your pitching yourself one, it goes over like how to prepare before pitching yourself. It goes over like a basic structure of an in-person pitch and an example with it. And then say if you're cold emailing or messaging recruiters, it gives you some samples for that. And then for networking, it goes over like major conferences, links to them, so if you want to go check out those conferences, hackathons, and then campus events and local events. And then it covers online networking platforms and why those are useful and helpful. And as well, those are all linked if you just want to get there pretty quickly. And then for behavioral questions, it's a little more of a hands-on module. We actually have activities that we want to work on. So there's like preparation. This is, for example, a really great guide. If you have trouble with behavioral interviews and you just need a little more help, this is a great resource to like organize your thoughts. So it's organized by like themes and then the company or organization. So this can be previous internships, jobs, or leadership roles within something. So for example, let's say you have an internship you had, you'll have under leadership and influence, let's say like what did you do to make a difference? It's organized by nugget, situation, actions, result, and the point. This is really important to like help think of concise ideas for each of them. So for example, for a nugget, you'll have, sure, let me tell you about when and then you would go on to your story. The situation, you're going to only cover the basics of what was happening. And then the actions that you took. These actions are extremely important because it shows a lot about your character and who you are. And then you're going to go over the results and prove it. So try to use numbers, try to see the difference you made. And then finally, you're going to do the point. So what does this say about you and how does it tie back to the original question? And then we also have included a download here link. So if you want to download and fill out this grid, you can do it yourself as well. And then this kind of ties in a bit more to that NSRA format, which is from Gail Lackman, the author of Cracking the Coding Interview and Cracking the PM Interview. And then the next one is types of questions. This is broken down by the different categories, so like problem solving, teamwork, leadership, initiative, negativity, decision-making, and professional priorities, and about the company. So just, you can go through these, ask yourself them, maybe jot some down. So, it might not be the exact question you get, but it'll help you prepare. And then we have some questions to ask your interviewer, because it's definitely very important when an interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? You should never say, no, I don't. You should have creative questions that are different and unique. And we gave you guys a couple options over here. Okay, and then for technical questions, similar format. The first page, we're going to go over how virtual interviews can go. And in virtual interviews, the different types of categories, like whether it's screen sharing, take-home projects, a hire view, phone calls, and I'll tell you a little bit about each one of those. And then for in-person interviews, it'll tell you like how those would work as well. In-person interviews, and then technical interview etiquette as well. And then we want to, of course, give you all some great resources. Those are also all linked here, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a snippet of why we think this resource is great and what the resource is. And it's a little bit of a blurb from their websites themselves. And then finally, I definitely want to reinforce this, that it's really important. A ex-Amazon software development intern and a full-time Microsoft PM wants to leave you all with this advice, that cracking the coding interview and quite honestly, just doing them. Go interview, be okay with failing a lot. That's how you learn. Don't use excuses like waiting until you're a junior. Just go try. That's her advice for how to master technical interviews. Okay, so those were our main modules. The final one I mentioned is kind of like an added bonus, is the Hungry for More. It kind of just goes over a lot of the links and resources that came from those previous modules I just showed you all. You can go here, so for resume building, it'll give you templates, it'll give you links we use to create that content, and that's for every single one of the ones we just went over. So the rest of the other ones will be coming soon, hopefully, but for now we have all those modules for you all to get started and to land your dream internships and full-time jobs. And finally, the last part of our project is we want to show you who we are. So on our bottom footer, we say it's engineered with love and coffee, lots of coffee by us. So myself, Carolina Uribe-Goslin, I am doing a BS in CS and I'm minoring in psychology. I'm graduating this semester of Spring 2020, and I'm the co-founder and former director of SparkDev. I'm a part of UPE. I'm an avid hiker, backpacker, climber, and I'm an incoming Microsoft program manager. Christopher Rodriguez, he is doing a BS in CS. He is graduating this semester as well in Spring 2020. He is the founder and former director of Shell Hacks, former president of UPE 2018 to 2019. He's a gamepad enthusiast, and he is an incoming Microsoft software engineer. If you want to connect with us, here's our LinkedIn, and our GitHubs are also linked here. Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you have a great time and you learn a lot and you reach all your goals. Thank you for tuning in.